Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. We're in the kitchen today and we're going to be making a recipe that I've done before, but I kind of just threw it on at the end of the video and I didn't really give it the credit due, and that was some amazing fish cakes. Well, today we're going to change it up just a little bit, and instead of fish cakes, we're going to make some deep fried fish balls, and they're going to be great and they're going to taste amazing. So the first thing that you need to get started is you got to have some fish. Back in my last video, I went out and caught a mess of bluegill using a really simple technique. Just a split shot and a night crawler on the bottom, and we were finally able to beat the winter bite and come home with a mess of fish. And so we're getting those fillets out today. But before we get started, I actually went out this morning and caught a few more fish. But we're also going to be cooking those fish today as well in this same recipe. So while I get the fish prepped, y'all head down to the water, check out catching those fish, and I'll meet you right back here in the kitchen. Another cold morning here in the south. You know what I'm talking about. You've been following along. But getting ready to go back, do a little more fishing. Got my Fenwick rod out and fixing to get her all tied up and ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you while we're here kind of what I'm planning on doing today. These are some of my favorite hooks to use. Team Crappie, these are size 6 hooks, and I absolutely love these for panfish, not just crappie, but you know, bluegill, brim, things like that. I'm actually going to try to tight line today, almost like with a drop shot. So I don't know exactly how much weight I'm going to need because I'm going to a spillway, but I've just got these removable split shot in their BB size. So, you know, I can put a couple on if I need it to help hold my rig down. But the reason I wanted the smallest weight possible is I know there's a lot of riprap and rocks where I'm fishing at, and hopefully I won't get hung up quite as much. I've got my Fenwick HMX light rod. It's a 6-foot rod. If you watch me any at all, you've seen this before and you know that I like this, and you're gonna see it on this channel. But then I've also got a Fluger President 2000 reel attached to that, and hey, that's just what I use. I would love to come out here and show you a different rod and reel and line combination every time I go fishing, but you know, it's not about that. It's about finding something that you like and that works well. It is January, it is winter, it is cold, and night crawlers are just your best bet to get out and catch a few fish. So I'll get tied up and I'll see you at the water. May have been hung up in an eddy out there. That'll happen a lot. You get your line swirling. On to spot number 2. Fished about an hour, had 2 bites. This is the same place that I just filmed the last video, and it's 2 days later. The difference is they have turned the water on, and where I was standing on the gravel fishing in my last video is now completely underwater. The current is up, the wind is howling, and again, I'm about to freeze to death. So I'm gonna go over to the other side. It has thawed out a little bit. It was just iced over. I'm gonna try over there, but right now I got to try to get out of here. My concern is not about driving up the ice, it's about starting to slide backwards, and I just don't want to go backwards. Places that are in a lot of full sun are basically dry now. There's still a lot of hard pack that is solid ice. The truck's doing a really good job right now trying to hold me back, but I'm fixing to start down this steep hill. So I'm just gonna let the truck crawl down on its own. My foot's off the gas. Put it back in auto and we'll head to the next spot. If we don't catch any fish there, then on to spot number 3. Got a good fish. Y'all check out this shad. I flaw hooked him on the back. Check that out. I guess if those shad are in here, I need to be cast netting. But I've already got a freezer full of bait I hadn't used yet any of this winter, so now we're in some little fish right here. Got him that time though. All right, we've been out about an hour and a half. That is the first fish of the day. Pretty bluegill. We'll put him back. I'm fishing whole night crawlers, which won't be any problem for a big bluegill or a big shell cracker to take. But you do run the risk of a bunch of smaller ones biting your worm in half, so that can be a bit of an issue, but it'll be worth it if we latch into a big fish. Got him. Got him. Oh, he's digging. He's a digging. I'll tell you now, that's a nice one. Look here on the ice. I'll bite the size of that and lay him there. That's about it. I was gonna throw him back, but he started floating, so I fished him back out. There's another. Are there blues in here? Yes. All I have ever caught out of here is a channel, and my father-in-law caught one little old flathead down here one day. That was this summer too. That's the first time I'd ever seen one come out of here.
Oh, it's so good to be out of the house.
Yeah, maybe we'll. Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate it. That's good there. Another place I found on this summer was over at Tishomingo State Park. I got into some pretty good sized ones out there.
Got a Mississippi license?
I do. My all right, so just wrapped up spot number 2. We did find a few fish fishing up into the backwater out of the main current. Looked like all the brim had moved up into there just to get a rest from that current, I guess. Caught about 4 shell cracker and several decent little bluegill, but I don't know what I filmed because I hadn't been fishing very long, and a guy came down there and fished right next to me, and I don't know. I don't know really how to do that. I'm not real comfortable talking to the camera and filming when somebody else is around like that. Somebody that it turns out I did know the guy, you know, just I don't know, just not very comfortable with that. So I had the camera off a lot of times. I tried to turn it on when I was catching, but I don't really know what I actually got on film. And let's get in the kitchen and cook a few fish. All We have got all our fillets prepped and ready. I've probably got close to a pound of these bluegill fillets that are all laid out in a baking dish on parchment paper, and they're ready to go into an oven set at 350 degrees, and we're just gonna cook them till they get done. It'll take about 15 minutes. Now what you're gonna need to do while those start cooking is start your next step, and in this case we're doing a seasoning blend. So if you're not familiar with this is like the trinity of vegetables: celery, bell pepper, and onion. And one thing that I've found that really saves some time, you can buy it froze, already mixed together, called seasoning blend. So we're gonna get that in a skillet over medium heat. We just wanna cook it until those onions start to get clear. All right, I'm gonna say we're about halfway there. We're gonna add about a quarter cup of parsley flakes and about 5 cloves of just chopped garlic. And we're gonna add about a half stick of butter. So what that's gonna do is just give you enough liquid with that parsley going in that doesn't just get really dry and cakey in the skillet. Could you start with the butter first instead of the cooking spray that I did? Sure, basically I just forgot to put it in there. All right, we're about 10 minutes in, which means our fish is gonna be coming out really soon. And what you're gonna need to do is get your oil ready for the deep frying. So I've got my Dutch oven behind me here filled with peanut oil, because once the fish gets cooked and our vegetables get ready, it's gonna come together really quick. All right, next we're gonna add about 2 eggs just for elasticity. Then we're gonna add about a half a can of panko breadcrumbs. But exactly how much depends on texture. You just want it where you can mold it and shape it in your hand and it retain its shape long enough for us to fry it. So the exact quantity, well, that's up to you. Just 2 minutes on. You can't tell me those don't look delicious, which they are. Now if I can just keep the kids out of them long enough that I can actually eat some, we'll be doing pretty good. So anyway, hey, a little bit different video, but I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time right here on the J-Line.